Today is the 25th of July 2020 and I'm here having a good time in my garden, which I love so much and which has been a great place for me, especially during the lockdown. And on top of everything else, today is my husband's birthday. Sadly, he's no longer with us. This will be the 5th birthday that I celebrate without him. But it's still good to be connected. It's still good to, he loved the party. So I am putting up a little party for him here today. And, even though he's gone, I feel the love, he's gone materially, but the love I still feel. And what I often do is I'll lie down here on this trampoline and I look up at the trees. There's so many trees in my garden. And there's a little gap there in the middle, and I often send love to my husband out there. So wherever you are, I send you much love. And what I like to do is I like to connect heart to heart energy with him. So this is me, this is him, and I just imagine him and I keep sending him a lot of love, and particularly that is something I enjoy doing on his birthday, which is today. Well, I would say, one thing I forgot is that I still feel his love in many ways. So, for example, many years ago my husband loved to give me perfumes, and I stopped wearing them. When the children were small, I was busy. I didn't have time to put on perfume, so I had loads of perfumes from his left. And I'm now using it as a diffuser, and I love the smell of it now. And so there we are, there is still the love many years later. And another way, something of his which reminds me of him is that rubber plant. During his lifetime, I did not like flowers. I would always say no, don't bother. I kind of felt I don't deserve them, I didn't want them. And so one day my husband came up with the idea of giving me live plants for my birthday. And so that one I still treasure. Even though he gave it to me more than 20 years ago, I love that and I feel his love. Okay, so now to the next thing. I come here to meditate. Well, not really. I'm just too ADHD. I'm full of beans. I would really find it hard to sit still, even though I used to teach actually mindfulness classes. Don't know how I did it, but I did. But what I do instead is something called emotional freedom technique. And what you do is you tap on acupuncture points, which I will show you here. And as you are tapping on these acupuncture points, calming messages are sent to the amygdala part of the brain. That is a part which is involved with the fight and flight, it helps you to calm down. And all you do is you just tune in to how you're feeling, and you can also draw it. You can draw it how you're feeling. These are some of the things I drew myself, which was something like fear, distress, grief, sadness. But then as you keep tapping, you're evolving it and it's getting better, and the colors getting brighter, and and there is also the light at the end of the tunnel. So all you have to do is you just tap, you can say it out loud, this stress, whatever you're feeling. Just try it, just do it with me just for a minute. Just all this stress, all this stress, all this stress, all this stress. What's happening? What's happening with this stress? Is it improving? I bet it is. It might not. It might also be going up, in which case the people perhaps were repressing their feelings. So suddenly it might come to the surface. But it's okay. You say, at this moment, I'm okay. I'm safe, and I love myself, you know. My biggest fear, oh gosh, you tell me, it's a virus. Ever since I was little, I was really, really ill, always coming down with pneumonia, tonsillitis, flu, all the cold. I caught every cold going out there. I had like 8 colds a year, and I think in 2002 when the SARS virus was out there, I was petrified. Oh my God. But what happened with the COVID-19? You know, I'm free of that fear. And that's actually what happens when you tap. Things improve, and my life improved so much that actually now, last year or two, I did not have one cold. Just imagine someone who would be regularly having for decades something like, I don't know, 8 colds a year, being always down with the flu. The flu knocked me out for 3 months. I would be always in bed for 3 months. But this tapping helped me. And, you know, I did also draw it. I drew it. That's me being unable to breathe, being stuck in a box. And that's me drowning. And this is the virus itself. And as I kept tapping, I kind of felt, well, there is something new coming out of all this. Out of all that, something good always comes. So, and there was like the light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing is always the same. There is the light at the end of the tunnel, the healing. And then I did healing for the whole world. But you know what? This came up for me in the middle of October when I had the worst nightmare of my life. That was the worst nightmare. I woke up, I went to sleep, and the minute I went to sleep, boom, bang, suddenly I just kept screaming. My son came to me, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I didn't know. I was just like, I just couldn't breathe. People were like banging on me, and I was in this coffin, like here at the beginning, and I just couldn't get my breath back or anything. I didn't understand it, and I had a sore throat from it for the next week or two. That's how much I screamed. But this is what I mean. When I was doing all this work, tapping on it back in October, I didn't know the virus was there. Not till January, when my son actually said to me, this could be potentially as bad as the Spanish flu. And I said, oh my God, what will I do? I was doing so well. But then I started to think differently, and I said to myself, no, be grateful. I started to be really grateful that I've done all this healing in time for the virus, and that actually there's no more fear for me. So I actually am going, after I finish this, I'm going to do a video to help people, because that's what I love doing. I make videos here. And today is going to be my video 37, I think, already, and it'll be about helping people with their goals, you know, achieve their goals, so we're able to overcome our limiting beliefs. But before I go and do my video, I just want to share with you another love of mine, which is gardening. That's why I've got all these plants which I love growing. Also, I believe that it's more sustainable to grow your own vegetables. And during lockdown, there were times when I couldn't get things I needed in the shops, fresh fruits and vegetables. I couldn't get them. But I always had a little bit of fresh vegetables in my own garden. And I really love gardening, and even like, you know, for my video, it's a seed you put in, and if you look after the plants well, if you water them well, then you'll have the benefits of that. And it's the same with our goals. You know, if we've got the seed there, we plant it, and we look after the seed, then it will grow and flourish, and, you know, we can tap on the limiting beliefs, and, you know, we can all achieve what we want to achieve, and that is enough for everybody. So before I go, I'm just going to share with you a little bit of gardening. And I grow everything myself from seed. I share it seeds with friends. Very rarely do I buy it in the shop. But what I do is I love juicing celery, and then when the heart of the celery is left, I can actually regrow it. It'll start growing. So there we are. You don't even have to go and buy the seeds. And so I will just, as I finish, I'll just share a little bit of that with you. So I like growing things in pots because I can't grow much here, it's so dark, so I have it all at the front garden. And this is just a pot from our old recycling. We no longer need it because we've got new bins now, so it will go to waste. So I make most use of it, that I grow things in that. So what I'll do is, what I do at the bottom, you can see, I just put all the organic waste from the garden. So all the, you know, all the peelings, everything goes in there. And my trick is that it stays at the bottom damp, wet for the plants. And then I have my own compost. My own compost is mainly all the leaves from these trees which kind of fall down here. I just dip it in. Oops, I hope this is not going to create much mess, but no, it's just the right amount. I just dip it in. And very easy. You just put it in, all these things. And there we are. It just needs watering. And what I also do is that it takes a while before all this starts growing. I can actually use that space and grow something else. So these are all the plants here, mainly rockets. They're very good. I love them. And so that's how they come up in these pots. And all I have to do is just sprinkle it a little bit all over. And as I keep watering it, it just keeps growing. And I just pick it up and I just love that. So that's it. Thank you for watching.